What's up, everybody? Natalie here with Anna and Emma, and today we're talking about freedom because I saw them protesting against the overturning of Roe v. Wade. So I kind of wanted to get your take on what does freedom mean to you?
Oh my God. Whoa.
I would say freedom means the ability to choose what you want to do with your life without anybody telling you what you need to do, while also owning the fact that you shouldn't affect other people's life too.
Freedom.
It's hard to define.
It is.
Yeah.
Extremely hard to define. Do you have a definite,
I do have a definition because I literally couldn't define it earlier. I was like, if I'm asking people about it, I should probably write it down. And then I want to see if you agree with this definition because there's a couple things I take issue with. Freedom is the power or right to act, speak, or think as one wants without hindrance or restraint. What do you think about that?
Of course, you should be able to speak, act, do as you want without hindrance, unless it's harming others.
Yeah, I think that's really where it gets, is when it starts hurting others, is where my line is crossed. Yeah.
I was just about to bring that up. I think you're 100% right, is that we should have the freedom to do what we want until it harms another. For example, if I wanted to punch you in the face, right? Would that infringe on your freedom?
Yeah.
I mean, probably.
Say I didn't want to punch you in the face, but I wanted to punch a dog in the head. Would that be okay because they're an animal?
Absolutely not. I have a dog, so it is absolutely no. That would be worse almost, in my opinion. Because dogs, we take care of them a little bit. They don't have as much of an ability as we as people do. They have plenty of ability, but they don't have as much of independence as we do, especially if we raise them. So they're definitely not. I would not be punching or condoning anybody punching dogs in the face.
So what about instead of a dog, like a pig or a chicken or a cow? Should they also be protected from harm?
I mean,
I'm a vegetarian, so I think yes. I just think that we should be, in some ways, just kinder to every living being, because even the way that we harm other animals, even if it's excusable for meat, it's just such a messed up system in the way that we do it. So it's just inexcusable.
Since I've learned to love dogs so much, I've really kind of taken, I would say, thought about the fact that, hey, maybe this applies to a lot more animals than just dogs, right?
Yeah.
So I've started to think about pigs. I used to eat a lot of bacon, right? So this past Lent, I gave up all meat for that. And because of pigs, because I think pigs are very intelligent, but we don't give them enough credit, and then they're just stuck in these places, unfortunately, a lot of times where they're just getting harvested, and it's a terrible thing.
I do want to talk about the dairy industry. Are you familiar with what happens with dairy cows?
To some extent, I'm aware that they're rigged up, right? And they don't really live beyond the factories that they were essentially produced in.
The worst part about dairy is that the cows only produce milk after they've had a baby, so they're forced into pregnancy. So I think that, as someone who wants bodily autonomy, I also want to grant that to animals. Yeah. And when you buy animal agriculture products, you're taking away their right to reproductive autonomy. Have you ever thought about it from that angle?
I feel like putting two and two together probably haven't. It's a really good point. No forced birth for any living being, I feel is valid and fair.
That's heartbreaking to hear.
Yeah, and then the babies are, if they're male, they're useless to the dairy industry, so they're killed pretty much right away for veal, or they're sold to beef. And then if they are dairy cows, they're impregnated 3 to 5 times till, like you said, they can't produce milk anymore and they go to a slaughterhouse. So the way I think about it is that meat is an animal who has already died and dairy is an animal who will die. You said you gave up meat for Lent. How did you find that experience?
It really wasn't anything difficult. We just got by. It was somewhat difficult to find the different things, but we found them, and we just found other ways, a lot of beans, a lot of rice and stuff like that, to get through.
You said you hadn't thought about it. Is it something you are willing to look into?
I think so. I think it's definitely something I'm willing to expand my view on and kind of be more mindful about whatever animal products I do purchase. If after I think about it, I still want to purchase any animal products anymore, because it might severely depress me to look more into it.
Do you think you saved any animals during that time?
Absolutely, because before that, I was so I think about this a lot, and it was a comedian that I have to give him credit, Bill Burr. He has he has a bit that it says, every day that I live, something has to die. That's a very, very messed up thing, that every day I live, something has to die for me to live. That's sad. I wish it wouldn't be like that. I wish we could find a better way. So I definitely feel, and I know, because I gave up I used to eat almost bacon every day. I love bacon. I love that.
But you recognize that the taste doesn't justify putting a pig into a gas chamber, right?
Absolutely.
Do you have any questions about it, or about being vegan or anything?
Are you a vegan?
Yeah. I've been vegan since COVID because I found out that 75% of pandemics are caused by animal agriculture. And I was like, I felt like a hypocrite because I was wearing a mask and like not seeing my friends, but I was still buying meat products, which scientists have said the next pandemic will probably come from factory farms. So it seemed very hypocritical to me.
Yeah. Whoa, that's wild.
Do you have any other like objections, like animals eat other animals? Does that mean that we can?
I mean, that's all they got. That's all I got. I don't know what else to say to that. You know, that's what I came up in the spur of the moment there. But really, when you think about it, that's their only choice. We have choice.
You're 100% right. Yeah, I think that, you know, they do it out of necessity, and we don't have to do it out of necessity. And like you touched on earlier, we do have the ability to decide right from wrong that animals don't necessarily have. If you could live a life where you intentionally harmed humans, intentionally harmed animals, or neither, what would you choose?
Neither.
Yeah, neither.
Neither.
Would being vegan be more in line with that goal?
Probably so. It probably would.
I would love to harm nobody, of course. Yeah, sure. Yeah.
You have that choice every day.
You absolutely do. And you have to make a sacrifice in that choice a little bit. Yeah, I mean, it does come with a little sacrifice for sure. I mean, bacon tastes good. Nobody's going to say it doesn't probably taste good.
Yeah.
But, I mean, is that worth the life of some pig that lived in, you know, a little cage and then got slaughtered? No, I don't think so.
This video was brought to you by my Patreon. Last month, we donated $87 to Rowdy Girl Sanctuary. Special thanks to my morally superior patrons, Amy, Andy, Deepak, and Rebecca.